questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told JC, Nate and Rich that good times are coming, no need for deep diving. Van Cam's reactions, watch alongs to the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South stay flying, keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of Transfer Weekly. We've got 10 consecutive episodes so far in this window and we're not stopping until it's done. We've only got a couple weeks left, so we'll keep going until the end and maybe we'll do something else on deadline day. I'm not sure, but this week I'm here to tell you about all the latest rumours, loans, and I'll give you my opinion on them for all the players that are linked with Crystal Palace. Okay. In this episode, we're talking about a departure, a potential swap deal, a signing, and a loan deal from a previous player. So, let's get straight into this one. Alright, and the first player that we're talking about today is Ilax Morabi.
Pronunciation is MORIBA.
Definitely butchered it, but oh well, it is what it is. The 19-year-old central midfielder from Guinea who's linked with a return move to Valencia after a very successful loan season there. However, he's also linked with a surprise bid from Crystal Palace. The ex-Barcelona talent is extremely highly rated and he moved from Barcelona to Leipzig when he was 18 or 17 years old for about £16 million. So he's got to be something pretty special coming through the academy and already going for that big money. But he's known to have a very bad attitude. For example, I've heard that they want him gone even though he's a very talented footballer. They'd rather have a better attitude than footballing ability. I've heard a rumour that apparently when he was injured he wanted the staff to feed him grapes. Like, proper dangling it in front of his head, thinking he's a king. But no, that's not happening at Palace if it happens, but it's quite funny to me. I think historically Palace are a team which take on these troubled players, I guess you'd say, and we sort of, I wouldn't say we rehabilitate them, but we make them much better people on and off the pitch. We are known to be a club that can handle a bigger ego and someone that has this sort of mentality. And look, if you ask me, and I wouldn't even try and play up with if Patrick Vieira is our manager, because have you seen the size of him? And I think Big Sam done it as well with Benteke and Mamadou Sakho and people like that. So I think Vieira will get a hold of him, put him straight, and he'll become a good player for us. I think a very good example is Michael Olise. At Reading he had a terrible attitude, and the second Vieira got his hands on him, he seemed to have knuckled down, really focusing on his football. He had a little bit of an incident the other day with a fan. I don't really know all the details with that, but seems to be a more matured young man now. But more on Morabi, very serious talent we've got our hands on here. Rumoured to be about £12 million, which is the buying rate for him right now, because Leipzig really don't want him at all. Box-to-box midfielder with the technical ability of a very good player, fused with the strong shape, physically strong. He's more than strong enough for the Premier League. And when he was on loan last season at Valencia, he played in many competitions. He played La Liga, he played Champions League, and he also played in the AFCON for Guinea as well. Lots of experience for someone that's so young, and very impressive if you ask me. In these stats, I'm only going to talk about his La Liga stats, because if we go on about all the other leagues and competitions he played in, we're going to be here for a while. So, let's get straight into this one. 9 starts in 14 appearances, 0 goals with 1 shot, 1 big chance created per 90. Very solid stats here, bear in mind he's a box-to-box and this is attacking stats. 0.9 interceptions, 1.9 tackles, 1 clearance made per 90, which shows the defensive ability that we're needing in a box-to-box midfielder. 1.5 ground and 4.1 aerial duels, 1 per 90, and winning 1.8 fouls per 90, which shows the dynamism, which he'll nick the ball from the air on the ground, look up and start to try and create some, try and move the ball forwards, and while doing that, whether it be dribbling or passing, he's got very solid passing stats. they take him out because they don't know how to deal with him. And someone so young like that already getting that kind of treatment from seasoned professionals in a big league like La Liga can only be taken as a compliment, if you ask me. If you ask me, 10 out of 10 signing. 100% 10 out of 10 signing. I think Vieira can work magic with this guy, and we're needing a Conor Gallagher replacement, and this guy seems to do everything Conor Gallagher can do without the goals. But Gallagher did everything Gallagher did at West Brom before he had his loan with us without the goals, so why can't we turn MORIBA into a goal machine like we did with Gallagher? I think the last point I'll just say on him is, think about the midfield, man. He would fit so well. Imagine that. Decore, MORIBA as a double pivot with Eze. Very young, very experienced, and an undeniably talented midfield for Crystal Palace during this season. Talking about a Conor Gallagher replacement, let's talk about the man himself, Conor Gallagher. Brilliant loan with us last season. We all know that. There's no point dwelling into him really too long, because we know why we're talking about him today. And we're talking about him because last year when he was at Palace, Tuchel was saying, "You're my guy, you're in this team, you're a main part in my squad next year." And guess what? 89th minute, brought on after holding bench the whole game. It can't feel good after being a regular starter for the whole of the Premier League last season. Not going to be too happy about that, if you ask me. I wouldn't say that this is a very last chance rush to try and loan him again, because I think we've always been inquiring about loaning him. I think that we've always wanted him back. I think from the first 5-6 games we had him, I think we want this player. If we can't buy him again, we need to try and find a way to loan him again. But because of what Tuchel's been doing and selling him a dream and saying you're the guy, it's this, it's that, very reminiscent of what happened with Loftus-Cheek and was it Antonio Conte or was it Sarri? I can't remember, but the exact same thing that happened with Loftus-Cheek. England team, England call up, amazing season in the Premier League, sold a dream by the manager, hold bench. I know Loftus-Cheek got injured, but even when he came back, he held bench for a long time. Guess what? He went to Fulham, got relegated. It's not going to do his confidence any good with that. So I would love him to come back. I think if we can loan him, amazing. But, as I said, if we can get MORIBA for 12 million, do we really need Conor Gallagher anymore? Not sure. Put in the comments below what you guys think. Boy, this seems to be a very Chelsea heavy transfer weekly this week. But the next guy, 21-year-olds, Chelsea winger, linked with Crystal Palace right now, Callum HudsonOdoi. We're not linked with him in the sort of way that I would say would benefit us, if that makes sense, because this is a swap deal with Callum HudsonOdoi and Wilfried Zaha. I just thought I'd get this straight off my chest. This is a terrible idea. HudsonOdoi can't even lace Zaha's boots. I know that HudsonOdoi has got bucket loads of talent and he's young, so he can develop, he can be a much better player in the future. He might actually be Zaha's level, but we can't lose a proven product for a prospect. I think that's just not a smart business deal. It's not going to be a smart deal for the team because you're going to unsettle the dressing room, because he is one of the senior players these days at Crystal Palace. He's been there the longest apart from Ward, so losing a pivotal figure in the dressing room like that is just going to be terrible for us. Like, why would you even consider it? I know Chelsea rejected a £70 million bid for him from Bayern Munich a couple years ago. I think that just further shows he's got talent there, but it's untapped. Like, we have to work at it to get there, but I don't think losing Zaha is proven. You can't work on a prospect, as I said earlier. Very tenacious winger, eye for a goal, not afraid to run at people, and he's got Premier League experience. Let's go hit some stats. 11 starts and 15 total appearances last year in the Premier League. 1 goal, but only having a 6% conversion rate with the shots. That's not good. 1.2 shots per game, 3 big chances missed throughout the whole season with 2 assists, 1.7 key passes per 90. It shows that he's not just in it for the goals, winning a penalty, 0.9 tackles per 90. It shows he does like to help out the team, work defensively. Zaha does the same thing, Callum HudsonOdoi does the same thing, so you can see some similarities there in how they play in. 1.1 successful dribbles, 3.4 duels won, 1.4 fouls won per 90. You know, for the 21-year-old, very valued asset for Palace. Overall, I think getting him on his own, which is the key part, is a 9 out of 10 sign. So Zaha goes and he comes in. It needs to be Zaha stays and he comes in. That's the only way it's a 9 out of 10 signing. However, if it is the other way around, it's a 0 out of 10 signing because he's not a proper Zaha replacement and his wages are so high at Chelsea that I doubt he'd want to take such a big pay cut when coming to us. So, not feasible at all. Lastly, let's talk about Christian Benteke. Unfortunately, an hour before kickoff at the Arsenal game, he was officially announced that he is now a DC United player. Very disappointed that it was happened so close to kickoff, as this is going to put massive pressure on Mateta and Edouard for them to perform. And all we got to think about is, listen, Benteke, he's been great for us for the 6 years we've had him. When he's on form, we all know, we can all agree that he was a brilliant striker. He'd score from anywhere, he'd score anyhow, with his head, with his foot, anything. Great player. I think everyone from Eagle Eye Football would like to wish Benteke good luck at DC United, and we hope he smashes it in the USA, in MLS. See what he can do out there. And yes, guys, that's it. That's all for this week. That is Transfer Weekly episode 10. That is a wrap. Comment below who you guys think I should cover next. And yes, as always, like, comment, subscribe. This is JC from Eagle Eye Football. We are out. Peace.